Welcome to another Honkai Star video. Today I have another Rin showcase for you, even though I just made one, but that one was just about E0 Rin. We haven't taken a look at her Eidolons yet, and that's what we're gonna do in today's video. Because I of course have all of her Eidolons, so we're gonna activate them one by one and see how much of a difference they actually make. But before we get into it, let's just take a look at her build real quick. It hasn't changed since last time, but some of you might not have seen the previous video, so let me just show you the stats real quick. She has 2000 attack, 147 speed, 98 crit rate, 153 crit damage, and also some energy regeneration rate and quantum damage bonus. She's using her signature light cone at S1, and her traces are maxed out. The relic sets I'm using are Tohsaka and Genius, and they're of course focused on mainly crit and speed on her relics, with a crit rate body, speed boots, quantum damage bonus orb, and energy regeneration rate rope. And yeah, like I said, she's still E0, but in this video we're gonna activate these Eidolons, and then we're gonna do some runs with my Archer team in Memory of Chaos to see how much of a difference these Eidolons make. But I'm also gonna use my Saber team, not just the Archer team. I tried it with E0 Rin and my E6 Saber, and it actually kinda worked decently well. You know, we got a 2-cycle clear in MOC 12, which is actually not that bad, so we can kind of play them together, and I just want to see how much better it gets with Rin's Eidolons, if you can maybe even shorten it down to a 1-cycle or 0-cycle clear. I have absolutely no doubt that the Archer team is gonna 0-cycling this by the time we get to E6. So the Saber team is actually gonna be a bit more interesting, but yeah, we are of course gonna start with Archer, and we're gonna start with her E1. So what does this one do? Well, when she uses her enhanced skill, while she has 30 or more gem energy, she gets Shadow Gem. And then for her next enhanced skill, she uses that instead of the normal gem energy, which means that no gem energy gets used up, and also I think no skill points. But yeah, basically it makes it so that she can use her enhanced skill more often. Though in my Archer team I didn't really have any skill point issues or gem energy issues, even at E0. I was always able to use the enhanced skill, but that might be because my Archer is E1. With E0 Archer, there could have been some situations in that run where we would have been too low on skill points, and Rin's E1 should, in theory, fix that. But it's mainly the Saber team where this is gonna have an impact, I'm pretty sure, because there were some turns where Rin couldn't use the enhanced skill, so hopefully we can now consistently use it. But yeah, only one way to find out, so let's activate this Eidolon now and put it to the test. Here we go. Rin is now officially E1, and we are gonna go straight over to Memory of Chaos. And let's see, Rin should get a turn pretty soon here. Okay, first then Hank, then the enemies get some turns, I guess. But yeah, now Rin gets a turn, and we already have over 36 gem energy here, so when we use the skill, we should now get those shadow gems from her E1, so let's see. Oh yeah, it now turned dark. Interesting. Okay, the number is dark now, so I guess that means we do have the shadow gem. Let's take a look at the stat screen just in case. It seems like it doesn't actually show up here. But we definitely have it, since the number did turn dark. But yeah, now let's advance Archer and use Sparkle Ultimate to get some skill points. And then we just unleash. We do some huge damage here. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Second wave. Okay, we got Rin's ult. Perfect. Apply some vulnerability to the enemies. And now Rin gets another turn. And we do have 57 of the gem energy here. Actually, no, we have 37 gem energy. I think this is the gem energy, right? Yeah, okay. So this is not gonna get used up. Instead, she's gonna use the 57 of the shadow gems that we have. Which means that for the next enhanced skill, we immediately have over 30 again, which activates the E1 again. So yeah, basically, we can just constantly enhance skill with her. And this also should now not take any skill points, if I understand correct. We're at 7 currently. Let's see. And we are still at 7. Okay, yeah, so this really helps with skill points. Again, this team doesn't really need it. It didn't really have any skill point issues in the first place, but it's still nice, I guess. So now we can advance Archer here and unleash again. And use the ult. And that is not quite enough to get rid of the first HP bar, but we are close. And then we can do this again. Get a bunch more. Oh wait, it actually didn't turn dark now. We didn't get the shadow gems again. Wait, can it only be used one time? No. Is there a cooldown on this of like 2 turns or something? Maybe. Okay, future Azure here, I want to talk about this a bit more, because even after doing some research and reading the description of the Eidolon again, I still have no idea what happened here. The only condition for the E1 to trigger is having 30 or more gem energy, and we had around 60 here, so what went wrong? I mean, later on in the video, we get the Shadow Gem every time. It's just this one instance during the first run with the Archer team, where for some reason the E1 did not trigger. And yeah, like I said, still don't know why. So if any of you know what happened here, please let me know in the comments. But now back to the video. Whatever, let's just advance Archer now. Again. Let me do this. That should give us the combo attack with Rin here. Yep, perfect. Then we also use Sparkle's ult. And we just continue unleashing our arrows. And there ends the first cycle. Okay, so it's not a 0 cycle, but I wasn't expecting it to be, since the E1 doesn't really do much in this team. But you know, we do this, should do huge damage. Yep. Then we advance Archer again, and this should finish him off. Combo attack, and then probably one more arrow. No, the combo attack was enough. Okay, yeah, you know, pretty nice. Wasn't much different from E0. But Rin definitely did a little bit more damage, got some more gem energy than she had during the E0 run. But overall, not the most impactful Eidolon, I would say, at least not in this team, with my E1 Archer. Maybe, again, like I already said, it could be more impactful if Archer's E0, but yeah, here it didn't really make much of a difference. But now let's go and use the Saber team instead. And just a quick explanation for the people who haven't seen the E0 showcase. Why am I doing this? Why am I using Saber with Rin, even though they have no synergy? Well, because I can, because these are two of my favorite characters ever, and I just want to use them together. I'm just trying to have fun here, okay? I know it's not a meta team, but it actually works decently well since my Saber is E6, so I was actually able to get a 2-cycle clear pretty comfortably with E6 Saber and E0 Rin. Now, let's see how it goes with E1 Rin. If it maybe could be a 1-cycle clear now, or if it is still 2 cycles. It's probably still gonna be 2 cycles, but let's just go in and find out. And I'm also using Hoo here instead of Dan Hang, because she helps with energy, which is good for Saber. And Sparkle is still in the team, because she can support both Rin and Saber. We need an action advancer for Saber, and we need skill points for Rin. Sparkle does both. But yeah, immediately we do this. Then we get Shadow Gems. Then we advance Saber. And yeah, now we get her first ultimate. This should do big damage. Yeah, there we go, almost 3 million. Then we give some energy to the team. I'm actually gonna save Rin's ult here for the second wave, because we wanna apply vulnerability to the boss, and I don't really think we need it here. And now we do huge damage with the Shadow Gems. Yep, pretty good. Advance Saber again. Enhance basic, and then immediately ult. And that should finish them off. Yep, there we go. Okay, now second wave. Now we use Rin's ult to apply vulnerability. There we go. And then we can immediately use her enhanced skill here. And Sparkle's skill on Saber to advance her. Enhance basic, then skill, then ult. Okay. And yeah, down at like 50% after this turn of events is pretty much the same as during my E0 showcase so far. But Rin does have Shadow Gem again, I just realized here. We already used the Shadow Gem skill, right? But she got Shadow Gem again. But in the Archer team she didn't get it again. I gotta read that E1 again, because it seems a bit inconsistent here. But basically this means we can just spam her enhanced skill even in this team now. Okay, now we enter the second cycle. Can we kill him in this cycle? That's the question. If we can, then this is actually better than the E0 version of this team. But yeah, we skill here again with Rin. And then we get Shadow Energy again. I think the reason why it didn't work with Archer was because we probably didn't have 30 gem energy at the one time we used the enhanced skill. Saber ult. Perfect. Immediately another enhanced basic. And another skill. And another ult. This might actually be a 1 cycle. It's gonna be close. Maybe Rin's skill can kill here? Probably not. Let's see. Yeah, no, not quite. Nah, it wasn't enough. Almost though, almost. Okay, and we can use her enhanced skill here again, but this time we only have 29 gem energy, so if we use it now, we No, we still get the... Oh, right, because she gets some more gem energy the moment she uses the skill, right? And that pushed us over 30, so then the shadow energy activates again. Okay, yeah, it does make sense. It does work as intended. Now this should finish him off. So, yeah. Again, a 2-cycle clear, but still pretty comfortable. I mean, yeah, much like in the Archer team, it doesn't make that big of a difference. It was about the same as during the E0 showcase. I mean, it's nice to have, you know, it's nice that every second enhanced skill by Rin doesn't consume skill points. And it also, of course, helps with just having more gem energy, which results in a little bit more damage from Rin. But since Rin isn't even the main DPS in either of these teams, it really is not that impactful. Yeah, sadly, not the greatest Eidolon, but it is a step towards E2, which is the next Eidolon we're gonna activate, of course. So let's take a look at what E2 does. And this one, I'm pretty sure, is her best Eidolon, and it basically makes it so her skill deals 30% increased damage, which is of course very nice since most of the damage comes from her skill, but she also increases the skill damage of allies to 130% of the original damage, so it's again a 30% buff, which is not gonna do much for the Saber team, but it's definitely gonna do a lot for the Archer team, since Archer also deals a lot of skill damage. I'm definitely excited to see how much damage his arrows are gonna do. So yeah, let's just go ahead and activate it. And straight back into MOC. Okay, first let's see how much damage her skill is doing now, since she herself also of course gets buffed by that Eidolon. Okay, 850k there, that's definitely an increase over before. In the previous runs for this first skill, we usually got around like 400 to 500k, so yeah, it's definitely a considerable increase in skill damage. Very nice. And now Archer. How much more skill damage is he gonna do? Okay, 360k on the first arrow there. Not bad at all. And another arrow. 600k already on the second arrow. Oh my god, that's so good. 780k. Holy shit. He's doing actually insane damage. 870k. Oh my god. A million? No, 800k again. But yeah, let's finish him off with the ult here. Very easy first wave as always. And now, let's see how impactful this is for the boss fight. Let's use the ult first, and then the skill. How much damage is he gonna do here? Can we reach a million? Yes, 1.1 million. Oh yeah, that's actually definitely more than before. And now it's Archer's turn again. Oh yeah, we're doing huge damage here. Over 500k on the second arrow. Almost 700 on the third. Combo attack. And even more damage. Oh, he is so dead. He is so dead already. On to the second HP bar. Here we go. And another Rin skill. Another easy 1 million damage. It just works so well. Then we do this and also use Sparkle's ult and we get the combo attack here. Very nice. Yeah, I think this is actually gonna be a 0 cycle. It's definitely looking like one with the damage we're doing here. Oh my god, look at this. He's just dying so fast. Oh no, we actually didn't 0 cycle. We didn't get Archer's ult here. I was kinda counting on that. That would finish him off. No! Oh my god, it's so close. That is so frustrating. That was just barely a 1 cycle. Definitely could have been 0 cycle. I'm actually gonna restart and try this again. We can definitely 0 cycle this. Yeah, first wave is easy as always, and we actually managed to save our Archer ult this time. And let's use that right away here. Okay, big damage. Then we use Rin skill, Rin ult. I probably should have used the ult first. That would have done more damage. I'm already screwing up, but I'm not restarting again. We can 0 cycle this, despite that little mistake there. We can just focus on the boss because the combo attack will take care of the minions. So we don't have to attack them with Archer. Very nice. And there we go. First HP bar done. Another Rin skill. Sparkle. Then we do this. Then the combo attack. Sparkle ult. Then Archer ult. And then some more skills. And that should hopefully do the trick. Come on. Oh, so close. So close. Come on. Yeah, there we go. Okay. 0 cycle. Yeah, I mean, Okay, if E1 Archer and E2 Rin can zero cycle, then something is wrong with how I'm playing this game. But of course, we were able to zero cycle here. Okay. Yeah, that is expected after activating Rin's best Eidolon. That feels really good. But yeah, now it's once again time to try the Saber team and see if now this is maybe gonna be a one cycle. So far we've only been able to two cycle with the Saber team, but since we were able to reduce the Archer team clear time by one cycle, now maybe we can do the same for the Saber team with this Eidolon. Yeah, Rin's still doing really good damage here, even without Archer. I mean, of course she is. Because Archer doesn't really buff her, she just buffs Archer. Oh yeah, the damage is really good here. Can we finish them off here with the skill? Nope. Okay. Need to waste the ult here again. It still wasn't enough. And now the second wave. As always, use Rin's ult here first to apply the vulnerability. And then we do some huge damage with her skill. Sparkle here. Followed by Saber Enhanced Basic. Into Saber skill. Into Saber Ultimate. Really good damage. Then we can get Huho's ult here. Perfect. Get some energy back. Advance Saber again. And this should take care of the first HP bar. There we go. Okay, so far so good. First cycle's over. Yeah, we definitely can't zero cycle with this team. At least not yet. But now the big question is, can we get the one cycle clear at least? Oh, it's gonna be close. It's gonna be really close. I think it's better if I basic attack here, because then Rin is gonna do more damage, and this is gonna be enough to get the ult. But I don't think we can get Saber's ult before... Yeah, it's the same situation as previously, where we don't have enough energy here for Saber to get her ult in time. And Rin is still not doing enough damage to kill all the minions here. Ah, it's not great, but oh well. Yeah, it's gonna be another 2 cycle. Oh, Rin actually killed here. No, she didn't. He survived with 1%. No, she actually did kill. It's just took the ult on top of the skill. Okay. I mean, that was right after the cycle change. Previously, we got like halfway into the 3rd cycle. Now we killed him right at the beginning of the 3rd cycle. So it is better. It just wasn't quite enough to get the 1 cycle clear. I'm gonna try one more time, like I did with the Archer team. Okay, I think I can defeat the first wave here without using Saber's ult. Yeah, okay, that's actually really good. So we saved the ult for the second wave here. So let's do this, then immediately use Saber ult. And then we should immediately be able to use the Enhanced Basic. Yeah, there we go. And immediately into another ult. Oh yeah, this is going a lot better than before. This could be it. And now we got Rin's ult to apply the vulnerability. And immediately follow it up with a Rin skill. And another Saber. Basic attack, into skill, into ult. The skill is actually enough to kill here. Perfect. Okay, we wait until he summons his minions again and then we ult. We're still in the first cycle here. We're doing actually really well. But yeah, now the cycle is gonna end. But that's fine. Skill. Then skill with her. To get the enhanced basic into immediate ult. Oh yeah, this is it. This is the run. Now we use Hu's ult, which should give us enough energy for Saber to get advanced. Yeah, she gets a mana burst here. Then do this. And ult with her. And hopefully that kills. Almost. Almost. Okay, gets his minions. So this is where we use this. Come on, kill them. Please, Rin. Oh, so close. This should kill. This should kill. Yes! Okay, there we go. So it was possible with E2 Rin. We have our 1 cycle clear with the Saber Rin team. And we didn't even need E6 Rin for it. Just E2 was enough. This means that maybe we could get a 0 cycle with this team after I activate the remaining Eidolons. I mean, E2 is her best one, so I'm not sure how much of an impact the remaining Eidolons are gonna have. But even if it stays a one cycle clear, it's fine. As long as I can play the two best girls of Fate together, I'm happy. Now, next up is her E3, which is of course just the usual trace level increase, so this is not gonna have much of an impact. I don't think it's worth doing a run with E3, so let's just go straight to E4, which is actually a pretty interesting Eidolon that had a lot of potential, but sadly didn't live up to it, because what this does is basically that the crit damage buff from her talent Gem Magecraft, which is like a 70% buff, can now stack 2 times, so instead of just 70% you get 140%. And this talent here works on the entire team. The characters just have to use or regenerate a skill point and then they get this buff. So yeah, sounds really nice doubling this, right? Well, there's just one small issue. It's just for Rin herself. Yeah, contrary to the trace, which works for the entire team, the Eidolon does only work for Rin herself, so it's just a 70% crit damage buff for her, but not for the rest of the team, which is such a huge missed opportunity. This could have been such a great Eidolon if it were just team-wide like the trace that it's based on, but for some reason they decided to make this just for Rin herself. Which, you know, I guess it's still nice to have. 70% crit damage is nothing to scoff at, but, you know, it could have been so much better. It is gonna be interesting to see, though, how exactly this works with the skill points, since Rin can use up more than one skill point with her skill, and I wanna know if it then immediately stacks 2 times, or if we still need to do it in 2 different turns. If it doesn't count if you use up 2 or more skill points in the same turn. But if that being said, let's just go ahead and activate both of these Eidolons now. E3 and E4. There we go. Okay, now let's see. We currently should have no Gem Magecraft here in our active effects. Yeah. So if we use the skill now, we have 9 skill points. It should go down to 2 skill points. So we use up 7. Does it immediately give us both stacks? That's what I want to know. So yeah, let's find out. I mean, 1.1 million damage here already, that's definitely more than before. More than the 800k we usually get here on the first skill, so I think this actually means we get both stacks already. Let's check. Yeah, we do have Gem Magecraft here, and it's saying 2. So does that mean it's 2 stacks? Yeah, I think that's what that means. Let's see, Arch, do you have it already? Yeah, and here's no number. So 1 stack, and this means 2 stacks. Okay, so it does work, and you do get it immediately if her skill uses up more than 1 skill point. That is at least something. That makes this a little bit better, but it still kinda sucks that it's only for herself and that Archer, for example, can't get that. Why would they make the trace team-wide, but then the Eidolon only for Rin herself? I still don't understand. Okay, now let's see with 5 enemies here. How much damage is it gonna do this time? Okay, again, 1.1 million. It's actually not any higher. Okay, here we go again. Let's see. 1.9 million. Okay, now that is actually a lot more than before. Okay, almost 2 million on the skill. So yeah, the Eidolon is definitely working. For sure. It is more damage for Rin herself. So not a bad Eidolon, I would say. But also not the greatest Eidolon. It's definitely doing something, but it could do more, and it's still such a huge missed opportunity that it's only single target and not team-wide. Now let's see how much of a difference it makes in the Saber team. I'm honestly not really expecting this to enable us to zero cycle with this team, but maybe we can get a little bit closer at least with that bit of additional damage on Rin. 1.3 million there, very nice. Yeah, it's definitely noticeable. This is actually kind of close to being a zero cycle even. Yeah, he's down at 30% here at the start of the second cycle. So yeah, we can definitely tell there's a little bit of a difference. The damage is pretty good here that Rin is doing consistently. And now this should finish him off. Which is a very comfortable and easy 1 cycle clear. Yeah, that was definitely a better run than previously. Okay, I'm positively surprised. That Eidolon actually made more of a difference than I thought. I mean, it's definitely not useless, that's for sure, because Rin can do a lot of damage, so buffing her crit damage by another 70% is definitely nice, but I still wish it was team-wide. This could have been an absolutely amazing Eidolon, and now it's a good one, but not, you know, essential. not really a game changer. But yeah, now it is actually time for the big one, you know, I mean, first E5 of course, but that's just another trace level increase. And then of course, the E6, the big one. All type respawn increased by 20%, that is very nice, that's gonna increase her damage again. And now also when using her ultimate she gains 24 gem energy. Before it was just 12. I'm not sure if that means that it's now 24 or 36. Is it the 12 that she usually has plus 24? Or is it not just 24? We will see. And she also gets an extra turn after using ultimate. So yeah, she gets more turns, she gets more damage. Her ultimate is giving her more gem energy. It's a really nice Eidolon. It's probably her second best after the E2. And I'm definitely excited to see how much damage she's gonna do with this. So yeah, let's go ahead and activate these two. First E5, and now it's finally time for the big E6 moment. I'm excited for this. Let's go. And it's done. Only the second time since I started playing Honkai Star Rail that I was able to activate a 5-star E6. And now let's not waste any time and find out immediately how strong she is with this Eidolon. Now the Archer team of course doesn't really need any improvement, you can't go even better than Zero Cycling, but you know, we're still gonna take a look at her damage here and see how far away we are gonna be now from the end of the cycle when we finish. But yeah, here we go with our first Rin skill with E6. How much damage this is gonna be? Let's see, 1.5 million at least, I hope 2 million! Oh, that's even better than I thought. Okay, 2 million just like that. With her first skill, without any buffs. We could probably use her as a main DPS now even. I tried that at E0 actually, I didn't include it in the E0 showcase because it was bad. It took 5 cycles to clear, so definitely worse than in my other teams. But now with all the Eidolons, she probably could be used as a main DPS. Even with the support set that I'm using on her. Though probably even at E2 you could already do that. And maybe even at E0 if you build her for it. It's just my Rin is built more as a support, so I didn't really try the main DPS playstyle. But yeah, this was actually big damage, and it one-shot the 2 smaller enemies. Okay, there we go, first wave done. And now, let's see how much damage the ult is doing. And also how much gem energy we are getting from this. So we have 23 right now. Are we getting 24 or 36 here? That's the question. Are we gonna end up with 47 gem energy or with 59? Let's see. 60. Okay, so I guess it actually gives 36 gem energy. It gives the 12 from her original ultimate and then 24 on top with the E6. Okay, so it's actually the better version of the 2 possibilities. That is awesome. And now with the vulnerability applied here, how much is her skill gonna do? 3 million maybe? Actually it was less than before. Okay, that's interesting. Not sure why that is, but oh well, we could also use Archer's ult here. Almost forgot. Oh right, and we get another turn immediately. I forgot about that as well. Because of the ult. We get an extra turn with Rin. So we can skill 2 times in quick succession, which is made easier by the E1. And oh my god, look at the damage. Now that was really good. I didn't look at the number though. It went away too quick. I just looked at his HP bar. And it did like 30% just from Rin's skill. That it's actually really good. Yeah, the E6 definitely makes a big difference. And here we go again. Another skill into ult, and then we can skill again right away, right? Because we're gonna get another turn. Really good damage. How much is this gonna do? 1.2 million on single target, that's really not bad. That took a huge chunk of his HP bar. And yeah, now Archer just finishes him off. Or maybe the combo attack is gonna finish him? No, not quite. Okay, yeah, again, just really nice, feels so good. Easy zero cycle. I have no complaints. It's a really good Eidolon. Definitely the best one since E2. I would still say E2 is probably a bit better, but the E6 is also not bad at all. But we already were able to zero cycle with E2 Rin here, so the more interesting question is once again, how is the Saber team gonna fare? Okay, well, that was actually faster on the first wave. We killed them with the second Rin skill. Usually after that Rin skill we still need a Saber skill, or you know, Saber Enhanced Basic. But that wasn't necessary this time, so we can already tell a difference there in the first wave. Now, second wave, we just use our ult as always, and then we get 2 turns immediately for huge damage. Before we even use Saber here, we're already doing a lot, and then we finish him off with Saber. Is this already gonna break the first HP bar? Almost. Very close. We advance Saber, get the Enhanced Basic, then we do this to get Who's ult, which should give us both Saber's and Sparkle's ults. And should advance Saber. Yeah, there we go. So we do this. And now we actually wait for him to summon his minions again before we do anything. And we can use Rin's ult and then Saber's ult, which should do a lot of damage. No, I accidentally... Oh my god. I accidentally pressed space there because I was expecting Saber to ult now, and space is, you know, how you use the ult when you are on this screen right now. But instead, because of the extra turn Rin gets after the ult, she used basic attack there. Oh my god, that could have been another skill. That might be the difference between 0 cycling or 1 cycling here. I'm so stupid. I guess I just have to try again if this doesn't work out. Yeah, it's not gonna be enough now. It might have been enough if we... Oh, it still could be? I'm not sure. It definitely would be enough if we had that second skill. Oh my god, I'm so mad. I'm so mad it's not enough now. Okay, well, let's just retry. So we really have to pay attention to these extra turns and not just press buttons. Just slow down a bit, you know, I'm not in a hurry here. Okay, here we go again. So let's use the ult first for the vulnerability. And then we double skill for big damage. And then use Saber's ult to almost finish him off. Advance her immediately again. Get the enhanced basic. And yeah, that once again should be enough to advance Saber here. Perfect. And then we immediately use the ults again, but this time I'm careful to not just press spacebar when this extra turn here happens. There we go. Now we can press spacebar. Oh, that's huge damage. Okay, this could be it. No, Sparkle's advance is not enough here to pull Saber up. Is it enough for Rin? It is. Okay, let's do this then. Is this enough to kill? Come on. Oh, we didn't have the special skill? What? Is the ult enough? Yes, it is. Okay, 0 cycle. 0 cycle with the Saber team. It just took 2 E6 characters, okay? But just ignore that. Just ignore that for a moment and enjoy the 0 cycle that's on the screen, okay? I mean, I'm just happy that I can do this with my 2 favorite Fate characters, even if it needs both of them to be E6. That's fine. But yeah, now before we actually end the video, let's actually try Rin as a main DPS. I don't really have the characters to make that work, and my Rin build is of course more supportive than DPS focused. But I think if we just use, I don't know, Remembrance MC here, and then hang, that should work kinda well, right? I sadly don't have Cirit, I heard she's really good for main DPS Rin. And I also don't have Cyrene, I don't know how good she would be here, or Sunday. I don't have any of them. So I think this is the best I can do for main DPS Rin. Let's see how many cycles this is gonna take. Okay, so we should already have Den Heng's attack buff here, so this should do more than the other Rin skills we saw. Let's see. Okay, 1.2 million on 2 targets though, before it was 4 targets. So it definitely was more damage here. And now we advance Rin. So we advance her again, I guess. We have 2 action advances here. Do we really need it with how fast Rin is? Maybe I should have used a different support than RMC, but oh well. It's fine. This should do huge damage now. 3.4 million there. Okay, that's actually really good. And this should finish off the first wave. We're still in the first cycle, so yeah, so far so good. Then I guess we just do this. He hasn't summoned his minions yet, but yeah, we're doing good damage already. Why are you not summoning your minions? What is going on? Why does he only get his turn so late? I guess we just outspeed him a lot, so I'm just gonna use the ult right now. I think I'm making a bunch of mistakes here, but oh well. Damage is still good though. Okay, now he's summoning his minions. So let's see, how much damage are we gonna do here? Okay, an easy 2.3 million. And we advance her again immediately. But we can't actually use her skill here, so let's just basic attack and then use the ult. And then we can skill. And that takes care of the first HP bar. And we are still in the first cycle. We might actually be able to 0 cycle this. Wait a minute. Main DPS Rin might be better than I thought. Just at E0, you know, it didn't really work well, but now at E6 it might actually be worth doing this. Okay, it's not gonna be a 0 cycle sadly because the cycle ends here, but it's definitely gonna be a 1 cycle. Gonna use the ult here, then we should get... not quite, okay, so let's do this. Now we should get the mem skill, yeah, there we go. Advance Rin, then we do this, and yeah, okay, we could have ulted here and immediately gotten the extra turn, but we didn't need it. Okay, yeah, 1 cycle with main DPS Rin. You know what? That's not bad, and that's with suboptimal supports. You know, like I said, I think Ceritra is her best support, at least that's what I've heard. So if you have her, then you can make main DPS Rin work at lower Eidolons, probably. I wasn't really able to do it at lower Eidolons, but yeah, with E6, it's definitely more than possible. But yeah, okay, that was a nice final run for the video. Okay, so what's my verdict on her Eidolons? Well, as much as it pains me to say, as a big Fate fan and a big Rin Tohsaka fan, her Eidolons actually feel a little bit underwhelming. I mean, she of course has some good ones like the E2 and the E6, those are definitely the standouts, but overall her Eidolons are definitely on the less impressive side. Like her E1, for example, didn't really do much in the teams that I'm using her in, and her E4 is a nice boost to her personal damage, but doesn't really do much for team performance. So yeah, if you wanna get some Eidolons for her, I would definitely say that E2 is a good one to get, and it's also a good stopping point. You shouldn't really go beyond that unless you really, really like her. I, for my part, do not regret getting her E6, since I really love Rin, but yeah, I wouldn't recommend it if she isn't one of your favorite characters. And it's not like you need Eidolons for her, because even at E0 she has a very functional kit, she's a good support for Archer, she can do some decent damage, she works really well, even without Eidolons. But yeah, E2 is a good stopping point, and the other Eidolons, sadly, not that great. And even that E2, you know, compared to some of the other Eidolons we've seen recently, it feels like they didn't give her that much, you know. They gave her one really good Eidolon, one somewhat good one in E6, and then they were like, you know, let's give our own characters all the really good stuff that boosts the damage by like 200%. You know, I'm exaggerating a bit, of course, but that's what it feels like. Either way, she's a great character, I regret nothing, and I hope that you enjoyed this showcase, because this is pretty much all I have to say about her and her Eidolons. So yeah, if you did enjoy, then please leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more Honkai Star Rail and other gacha content. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.